So yesterday I saw a publication which was done by Newswalk. Now they were bringing a new twist into the ZANU-PF succession race, and what Mnangagwa have actually promised to actually take over from him, and whom actually Zwikanandas are actually pushing to take over from Emerson Mnangagwa. But I must say, I put my senses into what was actually portrayed by the paper, and what I realized, I noticed how Mnangagwa wants to create a wedge, especially between Valerio Sibanda and retired General Chiwenga. Now, in my own view, I think if you are looking at Valerio Sibanda worked with retired General Chiwenga as one of the military generals. I think he was his deputy, second in command. And together they managed to remove the strongest, detector in Zimbabwe. That was Robert Gabriel Mugabe. They managed to wage a war with him, and it was successful. And even when they were doing a press statement, they did it together. They did it so successful. The question is Mnangagwa going to create a wedge successfully against these two military generals in Zimbabwe and be successful? And I'll be demonstrating how he has already decided to create a wedge. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, guess what? You become the very first one to watch. According to that publication, it made it quite clearly that according to Mnangagwa, he prefers General Valerio Sibanda to take over from him than actually retired General Chiwenga. Not only does he prefer him, he also has promised Jacob Mutenda that, promised to take over from him. And not only that, there is also Chris Mutswangwa. He has presidential ambitions. He has been promised that. And there are many other numerous individuals, but I'm more focused on the Valerio Sibanda issue. You remember soon after the 2023 elections, Emerson Mnangagwa, after that conference, what he wanted to do, he wanted to bring Valerio Sibanda into the Politburo. To actually double as a Politburo member, as well as also a military general, preparing him to take over political. But what I strongly believe was the arrangement between the military and Mnangagwa, especially after the successful execution of 2017 coup. Most probably, the person who was supposed to take over was retired General Chiwenga. And most probably, if retired general takes over, then Valerio Sibanda was going to deputize him. After, the Chiwenga has done his term, Valerio Sibanda was going to come in, and another another third in command amongst the commanders was supposed to also take over. But now Mnangagwa is doing this. He wanted to bring in Valerio Sibanda to the Politburo, but there was strong opposition, not only within ZANU-PF, but also, within the members of the society, because that was an unconstitutional act. He quickly backtracked on that unconstitutional act, but it is said Valerio Sibanda has been promised that he is the most trusted individual to take over from Emerson Mnangagwa. By Mnangagwa, even Zwikanandas prefer him over retired General Chiwenga. Now, this is Mnangagwa sincere to Valerio Sibanda in this regard? I don't think so. I don't think so. They have made most probably these promises so that Valerio Sibanda can assist them to deal with retired General Chiwenga, and afterwards Mnangagwa will actually dump Valerio Sibanda. what has been happening to other military generals may equally happen to him. Because in the mind of Mnangagwa, I've clarified this a long time ago, that Mnangagwa wants his son to take over. That son of his, whom he is always parading on public events, who is actually a junior military officer. That is the only person whom he wants to take off. Even these Gudawashe Takwireis, he just want to try to close a way for retired General Chiwenga. And how does he intend to do it? He will say no. As ZANU-PF, I think we should go for a Congress, and the Congress should elect the next president of ZANU-PF. And if that is the avenue that would be used, you can see in all the structures of ZANU-PF, they are weeding out anyone that actually raises his head to support retired General Chiwenga. So and at the moment, they are actually they are allowing anyone who support Budawashe Chakwirei. He is the person who has been supported the most, and some of the weak military generals have been made to make confessions about them. Some, they were made to do so not knowingly what was the plot behind them actually being made to publicly pronounce their glorification of actually this fellow Gudawashe Takwirei. And at the center of this is to try and secure the loots that have been looted from 2017 up to date. Mnangagwa, the reasons is clear why he doesn't trust Chiwenga. I've actually emphasized he attempted to eliminate him, and Chiwenga knows that a lot of generals have been eliminated. If Blessed Geza said so, it's also in the mind of retired General Chiwenga, though he hasn't even said it. But I'm sure one day, when he is at liberty to do so, he may actually say similar sentiments with Blessed Geza. So, what is politically obtaining at the moment? Mnangagwa wants to try a way of getting rid of Chiwenga and try to divide also the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. And if he is successful, it will help him to sideline retired General Chiwenga and weaken him. But has he been able to do so? It has been a mammoth task. That is why even at the HQ, there was someone supporting Chiwenga. They saw him, they uprooted him. The Secretary General of ZANU-PF was supporting Chiwenga. They saw him most probably because they listened to their gadgets. Remember, before Matuke was appointed as the Central State Security Minister, the son of Mnangagwa was responsible in terms of backing the cell phones of all officials within ZANU-PF to listen to their conversations. That is where they quote Tembi Sonyoni is aligning himself with Chiwenga, Opet Mpofu, and even all individuals who are aligning themselves with Chiwenga. They managed to get them through that kind of a tactic. So, will Valerio Sibanda actually allow himself to be used by Mnangagwa? He is aware of who Mnangagwa is, in my view, but also there is equally low probability he may be lured because of money. When money is put in front of some people, they cannot resist. They lose their values because money has been put in front of him. But he has a long, and a tested relationship with retired General Chiwenga. And most probably, if he's a man of foresight, of which I believe he is, in the back of his mind, he understands that if he decides, because Chiwenga and Valerio Sibanda have worked well for many years, and that is why even when they took over political power, Valerio Sibanda was allowed to head the military. I mean, being given that responsibility by these two especially I know it's because of Chiwenga partly that Valerio Sibanda was allowed to be there, as well as Mnangagwa may had a say, but it was not as powerful as what Chiwenga could have recommended. I strongly believe a lot of people who are protected in Zimbabwe, it has been because of Chiwenga, especially the wife of Robert Gabriel Mugabe, Grace Mugabe, because Mnangagwa is unforgiving. A lot of people were supposed to be, I understand, he protected even the likes of George Charamba, the very same people who are turning against Chiwenga, but also they may be tactically doing so, understanding that the man they allowed to occupy the highest office is a dangerous man. So it's 60 is to 40% rather that Valerio Sibanda can actually support Mnangagwa. There is slim chances in my view, and I strongly believe the military is united. And they may have discussed this even alongside with other generals who have actually passed away. They may have actually foreseen that such an eventuality may be a reality, and they may have actually come with countermeasures because Chiwenga still remains powerful. If he was not powerful, we would not be seeing these petty political games that are done by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. He is doing so and not coming out clean when it comes to 2030 mantra, because he knows that if he indeed comes out clean, all hell will break loose. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Umhlabane is signing off.